Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here, and today I would just like to discuss when life really sucks. Dealing with some random crap. I'm kind of working through it right now, in fact, because I'm headed to get some stuff out of my trunk from my old car because I was in a car accident a couple weeks back. Probably even more so by the time you guys end up hearing this. But on ye old April 18th, actually it wasn't that beautiful, it was just a Saturday, Anyway, dude just wasn't paying attention, stopped on an off-ramp on the highway. Super weird. He was just sitting there. So I'm coming up behind him. I'm like, okay, this guy's just sitting at an off-ramp, just sitting there. I go to get past him. That's when he decides to turn. And he was gonna do like a straight up U-turn. He just turned left. He wasn't like merging into the actual lane. He straight up was just turning around and doing a full-on U-turn. So of course, just hit my car. And I was like, oh, that's great. And then my car was considered a total loss, which really blows because it was one of those things where even when you look at it, you're like, it barely got hurt, but it was an older car. So they're like, it's gone. So that really sucked. So it was the worst kind of accident when it's someone else's fault, but then you're stuck paying a bunch of money trying to figure out your next steps because I'm, dealing with paying for rentals and stuff. But I was fortunate enough, I was able to find a car after, a couple of weeks. I literally had to straight up take a day off of work today to go through this whole process. Although I thought I was going to be looking at more cars, but this is actually way better. I found the car last night. I'm going to get my plate and the stuff out of my trunk, have all that settled. Dealing with Geico has been super annoying because people weren't telling me hey, we sent you these forms that you need to fill out. You open up one thing and it's just the regular crap. So you don't have any of the forms. It's just the thing that says your name and some random info. I was like, oh, I didn't know there were forms involved with this because that was a totally different thing. Turns out it didn't matter anyway because all that stuff was wrong. Filled out all of it and then talked to somebody today and they're like, oh, yeah, actually that's all incorrect. That's not the right form. I was like, what? Okay, so went to the library, printed out the correct form, filled that information out. Now I'm headed to get my stuff. So that's where things are right now. On top of that, my laptop is messed up. So I had a weird problem where usual thing, it tells you, hey, doing some updates, don't turn it off. This is the one time it actually screwed me over and it would, my laptop would not turn back on. Fortunately, I had two SSDs in there, and one of them was from my old laptop. So eventually it got to the point where it booted from the other SSD, which was Windows 10, which I've now updated to Windows 11, but still got an issue. I don't know if I'll be able to fix it. I think I messed something up when I was doing, be careful with those command prompt deals. I think I screwed myself over with that when I messed up before getting the repair system and stuff where you put it on the flash drive, because I tried that and it still hasn't worked. So I might have messed myself up, but we will see how that pans out. But technically the laptop does work. It's just not working the way I really want it to work because it's pulling files from the old SSD and not the new stuff. And I can't even find my documents in the new one. That was the weird thing. I was like, all the files are there, but for some reason they're I can't see them, which is super weird. And then they shouldn't be hidden. That wouldn't make any sense, but I guess I'll actually have to check that out. But just an odd time. This is just a very annoying and stressful time, to be plain and simple. It's having the car accident was annoying, and it's okay, that's gonna cost me more money, cost money on the rental. And then the laptop thing was just wow, I did not need this right now. And it really sucks. Of course, it's my laptop, when I use it to work from time to time, that it definitely helps with the edits. Another thing, of course, with things being the way that they are, naturally I have not really had as much time as normal to work on my video stuff. Most of my free time was looking for cars or just being stressed out and be like, you know what, I'm gonna just watch some anime real quick because I'm too stressed out right now. This is really getting on my nerves. But shout out to Fire Force, man, that's really good. I finally got to season 3 because I restarted the entire anime because I was like, you know what, it's been a minute. I actually watched seasons 1 and 2 when season 2 came out. I ended up watching the whole show then, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just rewatch it. I like the show enough. I was like, I'm gonna just start the whole show over. So I ended up rewatching the whole thing. It was super good. I really love that show. Soul Eater is my favorite. So I was super hyped with this one, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited. I finally got to season 3. I think I'm only on episode 2 or 3 of the final season. So I'm excited to see how things really end up turning out. Of course, there's slight spoilers here and there that I've seen, and I know the official, and I know that I knew that from the manga because it was so popular. I'm out of nowhere, Soul Eater was trending on Twitter, and I was like, I need to know why this is happening. And that's how I found out what the actual ending was to Fire Force. And I was like, huh, did not see that coming. So, and I wasn't reading it at the time, so I knew nothing about the story. But I was very surprised by that. So I'm still excited to see how it's exactly connected. I know there's some stuff here and there, but I still have some questions because I'm like, okay, well, I think this, But I also still don't know, like based on what Soul Eater is versus Fire Force, there's still a whole mystery as to how that actual connection works. Because I didn't go too far into the details of it. But as of now, I'm on the final season of Fire Force, and I am super hyped for that. Also started Maul Shadow Lord. I'm excited. I've only watched 3 episodes of that one. I'm probably gonna end up finishing. I wanted to do it for Star Wars Day. I wanted to like watch it over the weekend, of course. If it wasn't for all the car stuff, I actually would have already watched the show. Like that's literally like one of the most random things, but it's like just being able to watch like my shows has been slowed down because of the car stuff. But I watched like the first couple episodes, and I wanted to try to watch everything over the weekend so I could watch the final 2 on Monday. But sadly, that didn't end up happening. But as of now, I'll check it out when I check it out. It's currently May 5th, as of recording right now. So Star Wars Day was spent, getting a car at the end of the day. So that was nice, I guess. But I'm looking forward to finishing Maul as well as Fire Force. Looking forward to seeing, the Star Wars movie in theaters. I'm excited to like get back to what was already stressful enough, which is figuring out how to make more money. Like I think I'm dealing with enough. I think we all are, and you don't need a car accident coming in and then your laptop gets messed up on top of that. So a lot of random things happening. So I thought, why not just do a video? This is also like the first one I've done in probably like a week or so, because I haven't really been able to get like a lot of footage for my videos and do editing. So I was like last minute been able to like fit some stuff in. I didn't even upload on Star Wars Day because I just didn't have the time, because I went out I didn't get home till like 9 or 10 o'clock. So I was like, I'm just not gonna do it. But happy Star Wars Day, everybody. So this one's super late, although I guess I might upload this tomorrow. I guess this might be a May 6th sort of situation. But man, life is just annoying sometimes, and it was already annoying before that, because it's like, what, I could use $100 billion. Like just hit me with it. Honestly, I could use 10 grand. No joke. If I got 10 grand, my whole life would be set. Like I know that sounds crazy for people that might be like, like 10 grand is nothing. Trust me. I'm surprisingly, like, it's funny to think about when I was doing all my car stuff. I was making my dad laugh because I was like looking up. I write like all my numbers down. Like I thought it was weird. Rocket money. This is a very random thing. This is such a random episode, but of course these are the random things that happen when you're going through pointless situations. I found out that, and this was a while ago, but with Rocket Money, for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it obviously isn't sponsored because nobody's watching, but Rocket Money, the whole thing is like, hey, you got this subscription that you're still paying for and stuff like that. And I remember being like, I can't believe that that's a thing. But apparently so many people don't check their stuff that's super common. Like someone literally makes money having an app that says, hey, you're still paying for this thing. Did you know that? So I thought that was crazy, because I'm like, I'm always on that stuff. Like I have it down to the number. Like I know how much I normally have like after each check. And so I was like writing numbers down. Like I normally have this much left over. Like he was laughing like, man, it's like down to the science. My girlfriend was laughing because she was like, I've never seen anybody look up reviews for a car before. Because I'm like, if I'm spending, like I'm basically spending money I really don't need to spend, like, extra money on car payments and stuff. So that sucks. But I'm like, I gotta look into it. I gotta know what people are talking about. Like, is this actually good? Is it, miles per gallon? Like, I'm huge on miles per gallon. $5? That's crazy. I'm in Michigan, by the way. Like, I don't think we have ever had $5 for gas before. That's crazy. That is crazy. Bad president. But that's nuts. So miles per gallon is like, that's like gold right now. Like, how many miles per gallon we got? Because that's no joke. $5 is nuts. Man, it makes you wish for those Resident Evil 3 gas prices back in the day. That is crazy. But I'm normally super on top of like how much money I have exactly. It's just whenever something random pops up, random stuff like this, where it's like, oh, here's an accident. Even if I'm not at fault, I still, you still got to pay for your own rental. Geico, my God. Insurance, I mean, let's face it, we all say the same thing. Insurance is an absolute scam. Like, you pay all this money and then they basically do nothing for you. Like, I have a rental car, and it's like, I have the thing where, like, hey, we cover your rental up to this point. They don't actually cover it. This is just like a random thing with Geico. It was like they covered it for like 5 days, and then that was it. And it was like, what? I thought it was like up to this amount of money. It was like, well, actually, once we inspect your car, then we're done paying it. Like, you still get like I have like a cheaper rate because it's technically through them, but it's still kind of crazy that it's like, this specifically says this much money per day, and then when you actually need it, it's like, well, right up until we say we're done. And that's basically what happened. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. So I'm paying all this. That's great. But that's insurance. That's how they do it. So very fascinating, but it's interesting time to be alive. $5 a gallon is absolutely ridiculous. It's gone down a tiny bit. I'm seeing like 4.70s and stuff like that. But that was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I saw $5. I was like, wow, it's over. Game over. But all in all, life is life. You keep on keeping on. Eventually another Resident Evil comes out and it'll make you happy. Resident Evil movies coming out. There's been a lot of discourse about that. I mean, it's a great year to talk about Resident Evil, and it's been super fun. People loving it, people hating it, people just lying about stuff that like just being weird, like just so many different variations of people being like overly protective of the franchise. And this is from someone who's been playing, if you watch you watch this series, all I did was talk about Resident Evil leading up to 9, and I still got a buttload of Resident Evil videos that I never even posted for multiple reasons. But I still got a bunch of those coming up, a bunch of character videos, all that stuff. Still gonna talk about Resident Evil, but we got a new movie coming out this year. Just a lot of conversations, and some people are like, I think the conversation is typically the same. It's called Resident Evil, but how close to Resident Evil is it really gonna be? Like, it's good. I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be a good movie. I like Zach Cregger. I liked Weapons. I haven't seen Barbarian, but I do really want to check that out. Also, I knew him from The Whitest Kids You Know, so I was already like, oh, that's hilarious. So I always find that funny. Shout out to Miss March. Underrated. Like, that movie's hilarious. I don't know why people crapped on that movie. That movie's really funny. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to enjoy it no matter what, because I think he's going to make a good movie. It's just going to be that regular thing of like, okay, well, it'll be like 70% Resident Evil, and that 70% will probably be the references, where it's like, okay, they say Raccoon City. That's 1%. They had like the plant in the trailer. It's like in the background. They got one of the herbs. So I was like, okay, there's another like 0.5%. Like, they'll have items and locations that look like they're from Raccoon City, and it's like, okay, you can say stuff and everything like that. When it comes down to it, we'll see. It'll be fun, but as a lot of people pointed out, it's snowing. Plain and simple. There you go. Like, it's not canon. Like it's it's an alternate universe version, or however you want to do it, but it is not going to tie into the actual lore of Resident Evil. They could probably pull honestly, he probably could have done it before 9 came out, where they literally made a straight up map of Raccoon City, because we never actually had that before. I think the closest would probably be like Outbreak. And I don't know if they had that like officially mapped out. It was just like, hey, here's a location, and you could, I'm sure fans have kind of put stuff together over time. But RE9 was just like, hey, here's Raccoon City, and here's like a giant thing. So they might try to skirt it and be like, well, it's like the super duper outskirts of the city, but at the same time, it's also like the night of the outbreak, like it's during RE2. So it's like, okay, well, he can't be in the city at all because it wasn't snowing. So there you go. Like it's not going to be, true canon, but it's, an alternate version, probably going to be super close. Like I said, have some references and some changes, but it won't line up 100% with the actual canon. But I'm sure it'll be a great movie. So I'm looking forward to that when it comes out. I know it was funny. It comes out September 18th. And as soon as I saw that, people were like, man, they could have waited 10 days. Unfortunately, September 28th is a Monday, so they couldn't have pulled it off. But that would have been amazing if September 28th this year ended up being a Friday. That would have been the coolest thing in the world, to be like, okay, that would have been awesome. I would have loved to have seen that. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Or fortunately, it's even earlier, so you get it 10 days early. But either way, I'm looking forward to that movie. I'm definitely excited for that. Looking forward to whatever this DLC is going to be for RE9. Like, now we're at the point of, moving past the chaos and just trying to enjoy what comes next. That's what you got to do. This is a very minute thing that I can share with anyone that might actually be bothering to listen to this. Move on to the next good thing. That's all we do. You work through the crap, and then you build yourself back up. Because after this, now that I got my car stuff settled, I'm going to figure out this laptop situation, and then I'll be back to doing my video stuff. I'll be back to just edit. Like, I just want to like edit and like just get footage for video. Like, I've gotten some footage, but I actually want to like put videos together, because it's kind of just been like, I want to do this and I want to do that, but I really need to figure out this car thing. So now that that is actually done, or like will be done once I go get my plates and all the stuff out of my old car and deal with all the Geico stuff, and they actually pay everything off, it'll be settled. I will have a new vehicle. That part of my life will be complete. And then I will move on to the computer stuff, which fortunately, like I said, it's not the computer just not starting. It's just not exactly what I need it to be. and I do need to figure out what's going on with my files. Because if I could just pull the documents from the old thing, it would be like, okay, it's kind of wonky because, you know, depending on how you boot stuff up, for anyone unfamiliar, like if you have any sort of, like if you have a game or something and it boots from one SSD over another, like there's slight differences there. And also because my other one was literally like from, I don't know, a year and a half ago was like the last time it booted from that Windows 10 drive. There's a lot of old stuff there where it's like technically it has like duplicate files from things where I was like, all right, I don't know how to find that file. I'm not gonna delete it. So it'll be like Elgato stuff or little updates of things. Technically the old version is on that old SSD. So that's one of those little things that I have to kind of work through and just figure out exactly how I'm gonna do it all. But I'll solve that problem. I really hope I don't have to like straight up do the thing where it like resets it and deletes like the apps and stuff, but keeps my files. But I might have to do it. The files I think would be like the most important thing. But I'll figure all that stuff out as I move forward. But I just wanted to do this random video. It was good to just randomly talk. Also, it was, you know, a good time to utilize this rental while I got it because it's super quiet compared to my old car, which you might notice if you watch like some of the more recent videos, well, depending on how I upload them. But if you notice some of the videos are like slightly quieter, it's because I'm in this rental car and it's like super quiet. It's like way quieter than my old car. And I'm like, man, if there's one thing I'm gonna miss, it's that and the miles per gallon on this thing, because it's a hybrid. Man, I definitely now care about having enough money to buy a car because I do want a hybrid for sure. Like without a doubt, like this thing had a full tank of gas. It took me 2 weeks before I had to go to the gas station. 2 whole weeks. That's crazy. So at some point, I'm like, I now have experienced the hybrid. I was like, okay, I understand. Miles per gallon. And that'll save me a buttload of money because I drive a lot, unfortunately. So for me, that's actually very valuable. So I'm gonna miss that because my other car, the one I'm getting, has like regular, you know, eco mode, but it's not an actual hybrid. So it won't be as good, but still decent. But that's where I am. Wanted to do this very random video, just be like, man, things were really crappy. Like honestly, I haven't missed an upload in forever, and I missed like 2 uploads. Like I didn't upload on Friday because of some stuff, you know, the whole situation, everything going down and trying to work on things. So I ended up uploading like on Saturday, and then I totally missed Monday because I was actually getting the car. So little stuff like that where it's like, okay, getting back on track. And I only upload 3 days a week anyway, but it's just little stuff like that where it's like when I miss it, I'm just like, man, I feel so thrown off just from like the little the consistency that I've kind of built up as of late, which I've been really enjoying. Even, you know, it's not about like blowing up instantaneously or anything. It's the consistency that's what you need more than anything else. And I've always been on here, but it's always kind of an on and off because, you know, admittedly because of just life, you know, honestly, it's just life. It's always been stuff taking me away from it, you know, watch any old videos where I do like, hey, I'm doing this, and then it's like I don't do anything for like a full month. And it's like, yeah, life is just wild. But hopefully it gets easier. And it always has its easy moments. Sometimes you just get to play Resident Evil. Sometimes you don't get to play Pragmata. That's life. Although eventually I will be getting Pragmata, and I cannot wait for them to give us some more information on Onimusha. I'm serious, like, man, I'm waiting for Onimusha so bad. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to eventually getting Pragmata as well. Control Resonant is coming out. God, it's a great year for me game-wise, but also an unfortunate year because I'm like, man, last year I bought 1 game. I bought Ghost of Yote. That was it. That was like my game of the year. I bought 1 game all year. And this year it was like, okay, well, obviously Resident Evil 9 is guaranteed. I really wanted Pragmata, I just didn't have the money, which probably for the best that I didn't end up buying that anyway because I needed like the extra, you know, 60 to 70 bucks anyway, considering that was like, what, a week later. It was like a week after Pragmata was when my accident happened. So I was like, okay, that was actually for the best anyway. So that was kind of serendipitous. But yeah, that was, you know, that's how it is. That is how it is. But wanted to just do this video. Actually do a video because, like I said, it's been a minute since I've even done a video. So that's another thing. I just enjoy doing this and just taking a cruise. I'm taking like this insane back road that I've never been on before, where it's like all the rich people houses, where it's just fields, and then like, you know, their driveway is like a mile effing long, and it's like, oh, there's the house way back there. It's like, no, that's money. That is money. But for now, today is today. So go out there. If you're dealing with something crappy, find something good. Take that little minute. If you need that break, take the break. Like I said, my break has honestly just been like, I'm just gonna watch Fire Force. Like every time I needed like a break, that's what I did. I just caught up more on Fire Force, and it was just like, I can just relax. Even though I, probably should have been doing a little more editing, so I would have some more stuff set up. But I was also in that stress mode of like, you know how it is. Even when it's something fun, you're just like, I just don't want to, I don't want to think. I just want to enjoy. Let me enjoy some other art. Let me not have to figure this out. Like I'm already stressed out enough. Let me just relax, watch Fire Force, and be happy. So that's what I did. But of course, if you guys got something, do that thing. If you're stressed out, take that little break. So it's something I've heard that I really like. Slow motion is better than no motion. That's a good thing. Take it piece by piece. You'll get through to the next step. You'll get to that next good thing. Something else crappy will probably happen in the future because that's kind of just life. But it's pretty easy to have some good stuff happen too. Take pride in the little things. If you did one thing today, be happy you did that one thing. You can be like, man, I wish I did more. But did you do one thing? You didn't do zero. You did more than a lot of people. Look at it like that. So that's my very, very minute advice for life. If you do the one little thing, you got something done. That is an accomplishment. No matter how small, it's an accomplishment. And then you can build on top of that. You do 2 small things, 3 small things, 1 big thing. You just keep building it up. As that repetition becomes a habit. That's just how it is. But thanks for checking this one out. I know this is one of the most random ones, but like I said, this was just just like a piece of the puzzle. Just being able to do this recording is one of those little things. So that's nice. But thanks for checking this one out. If you guys have any comments at all, any advice, any random life advice, any random sayings or quotes you've ever heard that you just thought, I think this is good, go ahead and share that. I'd greatly appreciate it. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.